All right, good morning, everyone. Happy not even January 1st. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Happy December 31st, 7 a.m. here, 2021, the last day of 2021. Geez, I was just thinking so much about planning for 2022, planning for the new year, thinking about some foods we might want to add for this year. I almost said 2020, January 1st, sorry, but Still 2021, still December 31st. Thank you so much for listening here on New Year's Eve. I really appreciate it, everyone. Thank you so much. So, wow, unbelievable. It's just been, I don't know about you guys, but it's been flying by for me. We're one day away. Hopefully everyone has a safe, happy, and healthy night tonight. Whatever you're doing, wherever you are, I hope everything, stays safe. But you guys have fun and enjoy it with family and friends. Morgan, thank you so much in here already. Good morning to you. Robin, good morning. Thank you so much. Good evening where you are from, Warren. Thank you. Happy New Year in advance. Thank you so much, Robin. I appreciate it. My accent. Thank you, Robin. You know what? It's funny. Someone said that to me just the other day as well. Sometimes I don't hear it. Sometimes I'll try listening back to it, but thank you very much. I appreciate it, Robin. Thaumatrope, thank you so much. Good morning to you. Appreciate you as always. Tomb, throwing some foods out there already. Tomb, don't worry. We'll get right into those. Good guesses. Absolutely appreciate it. Again, appreciate all of you guys coming in here on New Year's Eve. Again, like I said, very hard to believe that we're already here, but here we are. Erlo, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much, guys, for the happy messages. Thank you so much for the Happy New Year's. Same thing to every one of you. Hope you guys are all having a great holiday season. If I haven't been able to talk to you live here, we've been going on quite a lot. So if you haven't made it in chat, then I hope you've been having a happy holiday and hope everything's going well for you guys. How's the weather in Canada? Not too bad, I have to be honest. It's supposed to be getting a little bit colder, a little bit more snow. But for Canada, we cannot complain. For us, this is not too bad. If there's a little bit of snow on the ground, we are happy. Thank you for asking, Robin. Jeffrey, good morning. Thank you, Jeffrey, for coming in. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you so much for everyone coming in here. Really, really appreciate it. So we'll get into an interesting topic today. We're going to break it down. Again, just like last time. And thank you for the thumbs up, guys. I really appreciate it. We've already just started, and we're already at 11 thumbs up. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So today, we're going to really break it down. All right? I was going to try doing it in different food groups, all right, or, different macronutrients, different nutrient groups, things of that nature. But then I thought, you know what? Let's just keep it really simple. Let's just try to get 5 foods that we can add to our diet that will help improve and make it a healthier year for all of us. So really get specific is what I'm trying to say. So it's just going to be specific foods that I think are going to be a great addition to your diet already. Now, if you already have these foods, perfect. All right, let's try to keep them in the diet for 2022. Do I have all of them in my diet? The funny thing is, I don't have all of them quite yet. I think I have 4 of the 5 for sure, but 4 of these 5, all right? And the 5th one, I'm trying to get more and more. I do have every now and then, but the 4 of the 5 are literally staples of my diet. And what I mean by that is they're in my diet every single day. So they're in my diet every single day. Sir, Robin means in Canada. Sorry, I just missed that comment, Robin. I apologize. But the reason, again, we could do the whole umbrella. It's like what I tell you guys when we talk about superfoods. People throwing out like berries, where every berry is the same, and or certain fruits, tropical fruits, things like that. But again, not everything is made the same. Not everything is going to have the same nutrient density. Not everything is going to have the same amount of antioxidants, anti-inflammatories, the same health promoting benefits. So this is why I wanted to get specific, so we can actually talk about the benefits of each food that we're going to talk about today. All right. I think if we can add these foods in, I think that you're going to be doing a good job of improving your health overall. Because what I did as well, all right, I was going back and forth on a few of them, all right, because coming up with 5, I'll be honest with you guys, was quite tough. And again, just because I'm saying these 5 foods doesn't mean that, we can't add other ones in, or you have to add these ones in because they're the healthiest, all right? I just think that these foods are going to be important for us to add to the diet so that we can have a healthier 2022. All right, I'm not saying that there's not other foods out there. All right, like I'll just give one example. Avocados isn't on this list, but we've talked a ton about avocados. I think if you've listened to any of my streams, you know that I love avocados. All right, but I decided to switch it up a little bit just because I want to talk about the health benefits of some of these other foods. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you again, everyone who's coming in. I hope you all have a great New Year's. I hope everyone's having a safe New Year's Eve. I know everyone's listening from all around the world, so depending on where you are, that New Year's Eve, that New Year's Day could be coming faster and faster. Here, though, we have all day where I am, 7 a.m., nice and early here, just getting the day started. So why don't we get into the foods? Now, Toom threw one out here, and I would like to get your opinion on some of these ones as well, guys. All right, the first one that we're going to talk about, and that I would like to see you guys try to add to your diet, and one that I've added to my diet, and maybe I'm going to be throwing out a recipe out here for you guys, because I have this great recipe that has this food in it. All right, and it's a lot of people are on keto. It's keto friendly. I think you guys would really like it. So I might be coming out with that very, very shortly. So the first one here is going to be sauerkraut. Okay, so the first food that we can try to maybe add to our diet for a healthier 2022 is going to be sauerkraut, fermented foods, as Toom said. All right, there's not a lot of us who are getting a lot of fermented foods in our diet, and we'll explain the reasons why this is important. All right, and for one of the reasons is probiotics and prebiotics are just so important. I always say if I was gonna recommend, a couple supplements, like 3 to 4 supplements, a probiotic supplement would probably be one of them. Gut health, we're finding out more and more, is super important for not just gut health, but for our overall health as well. All right. Absolutely for our gut health and for our digestive system. But as they say, the stomach now is the second brain. So we need those good bacteria, healthy bacteria, good gut flora in our body, all right, in the gut. That way we're increasing nutrient uptake, we're reducing digestive related ailments, and we're improving digestion overall. What am I doing for New Year's? That's a great question, Jeffrey. I'm going to spend a little bit of time with family and friends, like immediate family and friends. And then I'll probably, other than that, just keeping it low key. Just very, very small get together. But yeah, no big plans for me, Jeffrey. Kind of boring. One of the things that I like to do that on New Year's Day, which is kind of a almost a ritual for me now, or something I really like to do, is go get a workout in New Year's Day, January 1st. I like starting the year off with something healthy, like right in the morning. So I don't usually go too crazy on New Year's Eve, to be honest, or stay up super, super late. In fact, not to sound totally boring, but a lot of times I don't even make it to midnight. But I'm going to try this year, trying for New Year's. But yeah, we'll see what happens this year, Jeffrey. But yeah, just a small get-together. Yes, I'm going to try it. All right, great. Sauerkraut, I think, is tremendous. And we'll go over the reasons why, guys. Natto, that's awesome. Toom, perfect. I always hope I'm saying it right. Natto or Natao, some people were telling me it's pronounced. All I know is that you're going to get a lot of the same health benefits from sauerkraut, natto, miso, things of that nature, fermented foods, a lot of the same benefits. I've never tasted thalma. I've never tasted sauerkraut. I will try it out. Perfect. Give it a try, because I before this year, or maybe it was last year actually, to be honest with you, I hadn't had sauerkraut all that much either. All right. I didn't even know if I like sauerkraut or not. All right, it just wasn't part of something that I grew up with, something that wasn't in my diet. But now I love it. I have it almost every single night. It's not expensive. You can make your own. There's a lot of recipes out there for you making your own. Someone brought up a great comment when I just actually did a video on sauerkraut. Just try to get the non-pasteurized. Organic is best. I want to put out a video with the recipe because I have 2 different types of sauerkraut that I used. Both organic, both very, very healthy. And kind of some options for you guys as well. But sauerkraut would be the first one, guys. Again, throw some foods that you guys think are healthy out there, and then you can let me know, or I can at least let you know if I think that's a good one or not. You guys probably already know which are some of the healthier ones, but see what you think about with sauerkraut. Now let's go over why. Miso, my fave, very nice. I add miso paste into my bone broth. Very good, very good. Now, if this was last year, bone broth would have been on the list for sure, too. That's so funny you say that. Bone broth was huge, maybe even 3 years ago. 3 years ago. Bone broth exploded in popularity. I was buying bone broth, looking up recipes for making bone broth, talking to a lot of my clients about it. That's not a bad one at all either. How much sauerkraut a day? It's interesting because, I eat. The best way to kind of put this is we all have individual needs for how many calories we need to get in. How much food should we be consuming? The one great thing about sauerkraut, it's very low in calories. All right, high in fiber. That's a nice one of the pluses. We're going to get into more. All right, usually I'd say if you're doing anywhere from half a cup, definitely a cup, all right, is more than enough, especially if you're having a day. Half a cup, because this was asked before, so I measured the last couple of days. Half a cup to a cup of sauerkraut, more than enough. I think half a cup is good, all right, somewhere in between that. So, I think, I forget exactly how many grams a cup was. It might have been something like 146 or something like that on average when I was measuring. I think if you're doing anywhere between half a cup and a cup, I think you're going to be doing very, very well. Well, that's awesome, too. I'm glad we're kind of on the same page. It's funny you said fermented foods right off the bat, and here we are. The first one I had right on my list, sauerkraut. I think fermented foods are very, very important. The reason why, all right, we need those probiotics. All right. The other thing, all right, we'll get into it more and more. Sauerkraut is super nutritious, guys. Very, very low in calories, but super nutritious. It's packed with a ton of nutrients. All right, so like just that 1 cup alone, which I think was like close to 150 grams. I apologize, I don't know the number right off the top of my head. Somewhere in and around 150 grams. All right, I think, again, if you're getting anywhere between 75 to 150 grams, so half a cup to a cup, you're going to be doing just fine. All right, because in a cup, there's about 25 calories, hardly any. All right, and most of that is coming from fiber. So not only is it low in calories, but it's high in fiber and very high in micronutrients. All right, micronutrients is the thing that we're really looking for. So super high in micronutrients, low in calories, high in fiber, works pretty much in any diet. So if you're following a vegan diet, vegetarian diet, keto diet, all right, it's a nice healthy food for you to add. All right, it's one of the things that I really love about it. One, you're going to get good levels of vitamin C. You're getting good levels of vitamin K1. But the nice thing with sauerkraut is you're getting that special K2 micronutrient. Remember, K2 is going to be coming either, K1 is going to be cruciferous vegetables, so your green vegetables, but K2 is going to be either coming from organ meats, and if you don't eat meat, that's fine because you can get it from fermented foods. That's why I love sauerkraut as well. The K2 is going to be right up there on the list. It's super important. We talked a little bit about the importance for immunity, boosting the immune system. That mix between vitamin D3 and vitamin K2. All right, you can get vitamin K2 just from having sauerkraut in your diet, which is amazing. All right, now, so I love the amount of micronutrients in sauerkraut and that it's very, very low in calories. It's amazing. All right, I'm just looking at, yeah, K2 too. Are you a fan as well? I am as well. It's one that I've been telling my family and friends. You might want to give a look at. I don't. Whenever I do my consultations, I always just sort of give ideas, sort of like these live streams. Give ideas, pairing it with vitamin D3. There's individuals in my family now who are taking vitamin D3, vitamin K2 supplements. Yep, absolutely. So that's a great point, Toom. And I was just going to say for Jeffrey, I saw your question, what is the number one food for stronger bones? Okay, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of foods that actually improve bone health. All right, now why is Toom saying sauerkraut? How can sauerkraut help with our bones? It's funny because one of the health benefits of sauerkraut is that it actually helps to improve bone health. We'll get into a few of the other ones as well, but how does it promote bone health? Okay, well, vitamin K2 is important, one, all right, because it's going to help with the absorption of calcium. So that's why vitamin D3 and vitamin K2 are a nice mix, because vitamin D and vitamin D3 really improves the absorption of calcium. But vitamin K2 actually, it sort of activates two different proteins that bind to calcium, all right, which is, of course, the main mineral found in our bones. All right, so since it activates these two proteins, all right, you're going to have one, stronger and healthier bones, all right, and it's going to help with bone mineral density. So vitamin K2 has that ability to improve bone mineral density and to create stronger bones and healthier bones and keep them strong. All right, the other thing that with sauerkraut too is it's going to help reduce the risk of fractures. I'd say, Jeffrey, anything where you have your foods that are high in, let's say calcium, phosphorus, magnesium is huge. Those are going to be your foods for stronger bones, of course. Also, though, all right, so anything high in calcium, if you eat dairy, all right, of course, that's going to be a great, easy way for you to get calcium into your diet. Anything that's high in calcium, all right, of course, again, we said magnesium. Right, the other one was phosphorus. Those are all important for healthy bones. I think the other thing, though, that often goes overlooked, if we want stronger bones, Jeffrey, one of the things that we want to make sure is we're having a lot of antioxidants, all right? And that's why a lot of these foods that we're going to talk about today are going to be good for bone health, all right? High in antioxidants, all right? High in anti-inflammatory compounds, and that's going to be important for stronger bones as well. So a number one, I would say anything that's super high in calcium, I think is going to be great for stronger bones. I think sauerkraut is great for stronger bones. All right. It's going to help. It's one of the things that's actually going to help to improve bone health. But then the other, if you can combine vitamin D and vitamin K2, it's amazing for bone health, because if you're getting calcium, all right, again, it's going to help, really help with the absorption of calcium. All right, so increasing the strength, creating stronger bones. I hope that helps, Jeffrey. I think just to simplify, high in calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, and then make sure you're just getting anti-inflammatories. I think if you're looking for a number one food, it's a little bit tough to pick one of them out, but if you're looking for foods that contain those types of nutrients, then you're doing a great job. It's going to help with stronger bones. All right, but calcium's the name of the game. You want to make sure you have that. You want to make sure you have magnesium. All right, you can even look at things like phosphorus and copper. All right, and then antioxidants and anti-inflammatories. So great question. Now, why else do I think? So there's a lot of reasons. All right, we know super nutritious with sauerkraut. Super nutritious, low in calories, high in fiber. Amazing. Just be careful with the sodium, how much sodium is in sauerkraut. Again, that's why it's so great that it's very micronutrient dense. You don't have to eat a ton of it. And if you are eating it, maybe just have a glass of water with it. Since it is a little bit higher in sodium, the fermentation process usually involves adding a little bit of salt to the recipe, so that's why it's a little bit higher in sodium. But again, just increase your water a little bit if you're worried about that. So Very, very healthy. The micronutrients, you get that vitamin K2, which I love. I think that's something we should be focusing on for 2022, getting in vitamin K2 because it's often overlooked. All right, especially in the last few years, it's really exploded in popularity, really in the last year. So I think a great way to get that is through sauerkraut. You don't necessarily have to supplement with it. You can just increase your, consumption of sauerkraut. It's also going to improve digestion. All right. We know through numerous studies, all right, sauerkraut contains very high levels of probiotics. Sauerkraut, again, unpasteurized, all right? Sauerkraut contains probiotics, all right? So the reason why we want to increase probiotics as well right now is it's going to, one, increase and act as food for beneficial bacteria in the gut, which is the first line of defense against harmful bacteria and toxins and different infections. Right? And it can also improve digestion. So that's huge right now with everything that's going on in the world. All right, I think if we can improve gut health and gut flora, I think that's tremendous. All right, increase nutrient uptake while we're at it as well. You're very welcome, Jeffrey. My pleasure. And thank you so much for the thumbs up, guys. It's the same things happening as last time. I'm missing out by 10s. I'm always saying thank you for like the 10, but then I look again and we're at 19. Thank you so much for all the thumbs up, guys. I hope you guys are getting great value from this discussion. So I think the first one, Mary, there you are. Mary, I'm so great to see you in chat. Thank you so much. Good morning. Weather here in New York is warmer than usual. It's the same thing here, Mary. I was saying in Canada, it's actually not too bad. All right, we'll take this, won't we? But Mary, I'm glad you're in chat because I wanted to thank you. You see that nice badge, Mary's in green. Mary became a member of the channel. She hit that join button and became a Fit Team member. Mary, thank you so much. I don't think I had a chance to thank you live in chat, so I just wanted to make sure that I did that. Thank you very much, Mary. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate the support. And I hope everything's great in New York, and you're having a safe, happy New Year's. You're up nice and early. I appreciate that. But thank you again, Mary. Great to see you in chat. So sauerkraut, probiotics, guys. Probiotics, vitamin K2, two great things right there. Fermented foods, adding fermented foods to our diet. All right, healthier 2022. I think sauerkraut is great. There's a lot of people now who are, on the fermented food bandwagon. All right, because we're trying to get those probiotics in. One thing that I kind of take a little bit of pride in, not that I was pushing fermented foods before anyone else or anything like that, but the one thing that I've been kind of big on is digestion, all right, and ways to improve digestion and getting in probiotics. Recently, it's been more so of a discussion of vitamin K2, fermented foods being a great source of vitamin K2. So I've been a huge fan of these fermented foods. So another nice thing, probiotics help with digestion. Again, first line of defense against toxins and harmful bacteria. We also know through numerous studies, again, it's not like just one study where we're just handpicking it out, but it can improve digestion. Just want to make sure I'm not missing any comments. Thank you for the 20 thumbs up, guys. It was trying to clear up over here in South Dakota, but it started snowing again. We had a lot of snow at the beginning of December, and then it actually kind of warmed up quite nicely. All right. Kind of going into the new year. I would take it. If it stays like this for the rest of the winter, I would be very, very happy. But yeah, I think sauerkraut is one of those big ones, guys. Sauerkraut, really, really big. And again, you can do other fermented foods as well. I'm not saying sauerkraut is the only one, all right, but I'm going to give you the benefits of sauerkraut and why I think sauerkraut is important. All right, again, high in fiber, low in calories, vitamin K2, probiotics. Doesn't get better than that, guys. Probiotics are going to be huge, I think, for us this year. As a team, as a channel, we want to make 2022 the healthiest year. We want those probiotics in our body. We also know, all right, that probiotics, all right, can help to reduce, so sauerkraut can help to reduce digestive related ailments, some of them being constipation, diarrhea, bloating, gut pain, and even symptoms linked to inflammatory conditions, things like Crohn's disease, which is increasing. We know through the percentage, just because there's so much inflammation in our diets, all right, inflammation creating food. So, sauerkraut, great for that. Now, the other nice thing about sauerkraut, again, we talked a little bit about, and we need to talk a little bit about its immune system boosting effects. All right, one, sauerkraut, because of its micronutrients, all right, because of its probiotics, and because of its anti-inflammatory abilities, great for immune system boosting, guys. And right now we want a strong immune system. All right, we know that the good bacteria that populates not only the gut, because a lot of times we talk about gut bacteria, but good bacteria, all right, that's going to populate through the whole digestive tract, all right, the whole digestive system. All right, we know it's super, super important. One, again, helping to increase nutrient uptake. All right, we want that good gut flora. It helps with so many different things, digestion, even moods, things from reducing chronic disease to increasing mood. You guys get the idea. We want that healthy, good bacteria. All right. So boosting immune system, I mean, that's tremendous. Everything that's going on right now, all right, we want, and I always say this, we can take it as a preventative measure. All right, we want to be preventative. We don't want infections or disease and then start taking this stuff, all right, or these foods or these micronutrients. We want to do it now as a preventative measure. Sweet potato has fiber to feed the gut flora. Yeah, sweet potato is great. Absolutely. Processed foods, I think, yeah, you won't find processed foods on this list, that's for sure, too. Tammy, good morning to you. Good morning, good morning. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Tammy. Appreciate you coming in. Again, so many familiar faces and great supporters of the channel. Happy New Year to you, Tammy. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And it's great to have you into chat here on New Year's Eve. Thank you so much, guys. Early on Christmas Eve. I drink a glass of kefir every day for healthy gut flora. That's awesome. And again, you guys are kind of nailing it. Right? You got those probiotics, healthy gut flora. Again, I think sauerkraut is a nice one as well. As long as you're getting it in, that's the important things. We want to keep it simple. Keeping it simple is sort of the name of the game as well. All right, we don't want to overthink things. If you just know you're getting that healthy, good probiotics, prebiotics, healthy gut flora, then we know we're doing a good job. But I love sauerkraut. I think sauerkraut is one of the top foods. Has to be in my opinion, one of the top 5 foods to add to your diet for a healthier 2022. All right, we know it's immune system boosting effects. All right. It's rich in vitamin C, it's rich in probiotics, good source of iron, all of which we see in numerous studies help contribute to a healthy immune system. One that's going to increase its functioning, one that's going to benefit immune cells. All right, I think it's tremendous. Now, the other thing is with sauerkraut, all right, let's keep it going here. The other nice thing with sauerkraut, again, it can I don't always like to get too much into reducing cancer and things like that. We can speak to our medical practitioner, but again, with the studies, because of its antioxidants, again, it's made from cabbage. All right, you're getting beneficial plant compounds, which can help reduce the risk of certain cancers as well, which again is very important. We should point out, because there's been numerous studies. I think I found, how many was it? Almost 9 or 10 studies that just talked a little bit about the reducing certain cancers with probiotics and micronutrients and the fermentation process and plant compounds having to do with sauerkraut. So I think it's pretty important to point these out. Wild fish. Oh, Tomb, you're getting ahead of me. You're getting ahead of me, Tomb. Don't give them all away. I appreciate you, Tomb. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Trust me, we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. But sauerkraut, great for reducing the risk of certain cancers, but I like to say may reduce the risk of certain cancers, and this is why I don't always like talking about it, because just because you're increasing your intake of sauerkraut does not make you immune from it. It may reduce the risk of certain cancers, but again, we just want to make sure We're pointing out, all right, doesn't mean that you're immune to it, but we see through the studies you can decrease your risk. The other nice thing, can contribute even to heart health. We know that because sauerkraut is very high in fiber, high in probiotics, high in healthy micronutrients, all right, for one, it can help to reduce the risk of heart disease, but it can also reduce cholesterol levels, all right, which I thought was very interesting, and regulate blood pressure. All right, reduce high blood pressure, especially for those people who already have high blood pressure, hypertension. I think that's very, very important. You guys know how passionate I am about increasing heart health just because of the epidemic of cardiovascular disease throughout the whole entire world. 1/4, I always throw this percentage out, 25% of the world's population is going to be dealing with some sort of heart-related issue, whether it be cholesterol, blood pressure, atherosclerosis, inflammation. You guys get the idea. Stroke, fatty deposits, so triglycerides. The list goes on and on. So promoting heart health, I think that's very, very important. All right. Vitamin K2 absolutely is going to help to reduce the risk of heart disease. Also, it's going to prevent calcium deposits from accumulating in the arteries, which is, again, important because it can reduce atherosclerosis while increasing the health of our arteries. So getting that vitamin K2, especially important. Again, been talking about vitamin K2 a lot. But again, we know even vitamin K2 is very, very important, not only for all the other health benefits we mentioned, but for heart health as well. That's okay, too. I was just kidding. No worries, my friend. I was just joking with you there. What you're just saying, we're on the same page. Mary, I will try to add sauerkraut to my diet. I'm not really a fan of it, but I will give it a try again. Great for you, Mary. I think just trying it out, trying different recipes. You know what? I wasn't the biggest fan of sauerkraut as well, but I've created a recipe, which I probably should put on the channel because I think you guys might like it as well. It doesn't include meat, so that's one of the things that if you aren't a meat eater, it might be a little bit tougher, but you can always just take the meat out. But it's a mix of lean ground beef, a mix of avocado, broccoli, sauerkraut, onions, garlic. It's tremendous. So high in probiotics, fermented foods, good protein, good healthy fats. It's a tremendous mix. The thing is, because you mix it all up, sometimes you can put a little hot sauce or whatever type of, low calorie sauce that you want in it. You don't even taste the sauerkraut. And I throw forks of it in there. I just, I don't even really know. That's why people asking me how much I usually take. A lot of times I don't even know. It's about a cup after measuring it over the last, few days. But it can vary. Sometimes I'll just throw a bunch in there. But, different recipes, you can try to hide that taste a little bit if you're not a huge fan. Fasting is very, very big. And one of the reasons why I want to start doing consultations for individuals is because one of the big things that I've been looking at, all right, and helping people with, especially with my own clients, intermittent fasting, so fasting, and also keto. British Heart Foundation. All right, Morgan. Thank you so much again. Great to see you in chat. British Heart Foundation trying to work so hard to educate UK population about heart health. I think that's great. I think, it should be on the list of a lot of countries. I mean, it's the number one. It's a silent, I don't always like using these words on stream, but this is how it's known as, the silent killer. All right, heart disease, all right, different types of heart-related issues, all right, it's the leading cause of death now in the world, guys, all right, and that's not to scare anyone, but that's why I'm passionate about heart health. Right? There's so many different related issues, chronic disease and things like that with our heart, and that's for a number of reasons. Our diet, living a more sedentary life, obesity levels, just a number of different reasons that are increasing the risk of heart disease and why more and more individuals are dealing with heart-related issues. So that's great, Morgan. I hope they keep that up. I hope we have more of that here. I haven't seen a whole lot of it, to be honest with you. That's here in Canada. Wait a second. All right, Thelma, let me answer your question here. If I start eating sauerkraut, should I skip drinking kefir? I might be too much for the gut to handle. I think, you can have both. You don't just have both in moderation, or have one day, one the other day. I think that's important. All right, but again, if you're having both in moderation, I don't think that you're going to be doing yourself a disservice. It would be, think about it in terms of if you're having sauerkraut. All right, and a lot of people will talk about, well, do I need a probiotic supplement? I take a probiotic supplement with eating sauerkraut every single day. The reason why, yes, I'm getting billions of good bacteria in the gut, good bacteria from my probiotic supplement. But when it comes to good bacteria in the gut, good gut flora, there's literally I think it's something like 100 trillion microorganisms, all right, in the gut, which I think I read was something almost like 10 times the number of cells that you have. There's so many microorganisms, so much bacteria that are part of our gut flora. Yes, I might be getting billions from my probiotic, but when you measure up a few billion or tens of billions, even compared to 100 trillion, it's very, very small. So I'm not afraid of overdoing it. I think both can work hand in hand. If you are a little bit worried about it, just do one, just to take one day, one the other day. I think you wouldn't be doing yourself a disservice, having both. Just you could keep both in moderation, which is nice. Good morning, Susan. Great to have you in chat. Thank you so much for joining. As always, I appreciate you. Yeah, I'm huge on gut health, huge on healthy gut flora. I think it's very, very important. Like I said, the gut and the stomach, and having proper digestion. It's known as our second brain now, and it's for a reason. All right, digestion is so important. So I think we kind of get the idea, guys, of why I really like, and again, we talked about stronger bones and how vitamin K2 can play an important role, how the different type of micronutrients, all right, the nutrients in the fermented foods, sauerkraut can help contribute to stronger bones. I think it's very, very important. Now, I would just say, if you are going to add sauerkraut, you can easily find it. You don't have to make it at home. You can if you like, all right, but I buy it from my local grocery store, health food store. When you're buying sauerkraut, let's just say that you're doing store-bought sauerkraut, because I think that's the simplest. All right, we always don't have time. We live in a fast-paced world. Avoid pasteurized varieties. Right, so avoid pasteurized varieties and try to look for organic, because you don't want a ton of preservatives in there. And there's some brands, and there's some sauerkrauts out there. That's why I usually will go to my health food store. I know I'm getting a nice organic. Look at the ingredient list, guys. It shouldn't be a super long list of ingredients in there. All right, and again, some sauerkraut can have added sugars. Again, we want as little sugar, 0 if possible, in our diet. So of course, stay away from that sugar added sauerkraut as well. All right, so I think that's important to point out. Avoid pasteurized varieties. Look out for preservatives and things like that if you're doing store-bought, and then added sugars. We want to stay away from that. But I think sauerkraut's a big one, guys. Fermented foods, huge. I'm huge on probiotics. That's one of the things that I would supplement if you're going to have a supplement. Taking a probiotic supplement, I think, is one of the big ones. So for a healthier 2022, one of the foods you might want to think about adding is sauerkraut. It's fermented foods. Does that mean sauerkraut's the only one? Absolutely not. But I think it's one that you can definitely turn to. One of the easier ones, you got kefir. I think someone mentioned kimchi. It might have been YouTube. Kimchi, natto. I always have a hard time pronouncing that. I think it's natto. If someone can help me with that. Miso is a good one. So many different ones that you can add. I think sauerkraut's good because it has its own benefits separate from those foods, especially with, immune boosting effects, with its heart health benefits. So many different things. When it comes to sauerkraut, guys, very, very low in calories, improving digestion. It doesn't get much better than that. Nutrient dense foods, low in calories, and all of these health promoting effects when it comes to sauerkraut. One of my top foods to add to your diet for 2022, sauerkraut, guys. So that's the first one. All right, I think if we can add that, we're doing a great job. And I will tell you guys, that's one that I've added to my diet. I haven't always had it in there, but it's one I've been adding to my diet over the last year. Okay, great. You guys have been doing a great job. Thank you for asking tremendous questions, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone participating. Thank you, everyone who's in chat right now. And thank you for all the thumbs up. I really appreciate the support. We're here on New Year's Eve. I'm not sure exactly how many streams we've done. I've just been kind of coming on here because I've been enjoying it so much talking with you guys, but a lot more streams over this little break. I hope that you guys are getting great value from it. I've been enjoying them. We've been going for almost 2.5 hours on some of our chats, but I hope you guys are enjoying them, getting a lot of value out of them, especially leading into 2022. Like I said, I want this to be the healthiest year for us, and we can do that as a team. That's why we have the fit team here, and fit team members like Mary, who has joined. It's good luck to eat it on New Year's Day. Yes, I've heard the same thing, Tammy. Absolutely. So if we can get it in, there you go. It's funny you point that out. I was just reading on that. So I'll make sure I get it in today. Absolutely. Now, we got sauerkraut out of the way. All right, that's that's one of the ones that we want to add. All right, we'll get into our next one now. Mary, very happy to be able to support such a quality channel. Well, thank you so much, Mary. Excuse me. I really appreciate that. Appreciate you, Mary, and appreciate everyone else here. So thank you. Thank you, Mary. Great, Tammy. I love that you're enjoying this chat. It's my pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you guys as well for coming in here, for listening. All of these thumbs up, for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it as well. I'd like the streams to be in, like I said, 2022. It's always nice when you have, kind of a support system, an accountability kind of team working with you to help you have that healthiest year. I know just from working with clients how accountability, having a support system around you can be very, very, it's vital for our success. So that's why I want to make this channel. I want it to be something that we can use in order to accomplish our goals and get healthier in 2022. Yannick, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining in chat. Good morning. Thank you. Nice and early on New Year's Eve. You guys are awesome. You guys got to be in the top 5%. Again, like I said, when you're here on Christmas Eve, you're in here on our last one. I forget when it was. Maybe we've done even 2 more since then. But if you're here early on New Year's Eve on the nutrition channel talking about some foods that we can add for a healthier 2022, man, congratulations to you guys, because you're in the top 5% for sure when it comes to overall health. So thank you guys. I appreciate it. Now let's get into our next one, because we got our first one, sauerkraut. Love it. If you can, try to add it into your diet. Use different recipes if you're not a huge fan of the taste. Again, I used a recipe where I don't even taste it. I've actually come to enjoy the taste of sauerkraut. So give it a try. Tons of tremendous benefits. I think it can be one food for a healthier 2022. Now let's talk about another one. All right. The reason why I was joking with Toom earlier, all right, the other one is going to be foods that are going to be high in omega-3s, guys. You guys, again, omega-3s, I've been huge on the importance of having omega-3s in our diet. So what I put, just because this is the easiest for individuals to get omega-3s, so we have our sauerkraut. If you'll notice a little bit of a trend here. We're going from different food groups, all right, and different benefits, all right. I don't want, a bunch of fermented foods on here, because then you're just getting a lot of the same benefits. So we had our sauerkraut, fermented foods, vitamin K2, very, very important. Now we're moving on to omega-3s. I think fish oil can be a big one here. Again, does that mean fish oil supplementation is the only way to get omega-3s or the best way? No, absolutely not. For me, it's the easiest. It's part of my daily supplementation along with probiotics. I think fish oil is super important, guys. If you can get EPA and DHA, of course, that's going to be even more beneficial. Sometimes you'll find fish oil supplements also with good levels of vitamin D, which, again, I think if you're going to focus on one micronutrient right now as well, all right, I think vitamin D is very, very important, especially for individuals like us, Mary. Right? And I know other people in chat where it's winter, less sunlight right now, shorter days, harder for us to get that natural vitamin D. If we can increase our vitamin D levels, we know that it's very, very important, especially in the winter. One of the micronutrients we want to focus on. So I think omega-3s, foods that are rich in omega-3s, guys. The big one, I think, can be a fish oil supplement. All right, it's the easiest. It's part of, I have it first thing in the morning, and it's literally 1 teaspoon. So a lot of people, all right, will ask me, what's one of the cheaper fish oils? I don't think you have to go for necessarily one of the cheapest. I know sometimes, of course, we want to save money and we have to think with our wallets a little bit, but you don't need a ton of fish oil every single day. All right, we don't need a ton of fish oil every single day, guys. 1 teaspoon is going to be more than enough. You're getting a lot of omega-3s from our fish oil. It's going to come from things like sardines, at least mine is. All right, it comes from omega-3s, or it comes from sardines, which is high in omega-3s. It comes from mackerel, which is going to be the exact same thing. And I think there might even be some salmon thrown in there as well. All right, coconut oil and omega-3s. Coconut oil, if we're talking about omega-3s, coconut oil, I would choose like a fish oil supplement over coconut oil when it comes to omega-3s. All right, it's going to be a little bit higher. Coconut oil, other healthy fats, of course. Coconut oil, it has those medium chain fatty acids. That's why people were a little bit, concerned with taking coconut oil, is because it was a little bit higher in saturated fats, but we know that they are a little bit different from other saturated fats since they are medium chain fatty acids. So digested easier in the body, different than long chain fatty acids. All right. But if we're talking about omega-3s, and it's a great question for coconut oil, Yannick, there's actually very, very little omega-3 in coconut oil. Okay, so with coconut oil, very, very little omega-3. So I would tend to lean more towards the fish oil, just because the coconut oil won't get you that omega-3. Cod liver has vitamin D, EPA, and DHA. I take it every day. Cod liver oil, Susan, absolutely. We're like team cod liver oil. Susan, the beginning of that one of the first health supplements, to be honest with you guys. So cod liver oil, again, you can take cod liver oil. Just the reason why I like the fish oil, you're getting that nice omega-3. But yeah, I'm not, and like I said, just because I'm saying fish oil right now does not mean that you can't take or get omega-3s in other ways as well. Angela, great to see you in here. Another Fit Team member. Great supporter of the channel. Thank you so much, Angela. Good morning to you. Happy New Year. Blessings to everyone. Thank you, Angela. I really appreciate it. Happy New Year to you as well. I hope you're having a great day. Have a safe and happy New Year's. But again, appreciate you, Angela. Thank you for joining the chat. Okay, good to know. All right, Yannick. Perfect. Yeah, it's nice to know. Sometimes, with coconut oil, and again, it doesn't mean, if we're having fish oil, it doesn't mean we can't have coconut oil in the diet as well. Just keep both in moderation, right? Because, of course, they're going to be fat, so they're going to be a little bit higher in calories. Remember, your fats have 1 gram, 9 calories. So fish oil, love fish oil supplementation. All right, love, getting those omega-3s. You can get it by eating oily fish like mackerel, like most common is salmon, sardines, and things like that nature. You can do it with cod liver oil as well. But, I'm a huge fan of fish oil supplementation. All right, because we know we're getting great omega-3 fatty acids. We know that we're getting that EPA and DHA. All right, and I know we're getting it from other foods, but we'll just talk a little bit about fish oil here. All right, so anchovies, mackerel, things like that. Herring to a certain extent, but you're going to get more from salmon and things of that nature. But the other nice things, all right, with fish oil, so the main omega-3s in fish oil are EPA and DHA. All right. Also, in a fish oil, we know that we can also get some omega-3 from plant sources, all right? Or at least I'll have something called ALA, all right? What that stands for is alpha-linolenic acid, all right? So through ALA, so alpha-linolenic acid, all right, which is an essential fatty acid, by the way. Also, EPA and DHA are going to give you tons of health benefits. These are omega-3s, guys, all right? And this is why I love fish oil supplementation. Omega-3s have so many health benefits for us. All right. Again, with our fish oil, ALA, all right, EPA and DHA. All right, alpha-linolenic acid, guys. I could do a whole discussion on alpha-linolenic acid. All right. We also know it's important because with omega-3s, and why I like the fish oil supplementation. And Happy New Year to you, Cybele. Sorry, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Cybele, thank you so much. Thank you for joining. Happy New Year to you as well. I appreciate it, guys. And here's what I mean. Again, 29 thumbs up. I missed the entire 20s. I said thank you at 19. And here again, I'm missing by 10. So thank you so much for the thumbs up, guys. So yeah, omega-3s. The other important thing with omega-3s, guys, we know polyunsaturated fats, omega-6s, are very easier. Well, they're much easier, all right? So the ratio of fatty acids, all right, we need to make sure that that's not, we don't have, we need to make sure that we have a healthy ratio between omega-3s and omega-6s. We're getting a ton of omega-6s in our diets, usually in our Western diet. So we want to make sure that we're supplementing with something where we're getting those high amounts of omega-3s, all right? And we can do that through fish oil. We can do that with sardines, anchovies. But I like fish oil. Nice and easy. I take 1 teaspoon in the morning. I know I'm good to go, all right? And I'm getting it from other sources as well throughout the day. But fish oil is my main omega-3 go-to. Yes, Yannick. I apologize. Sorry to hear that, Yannick. 2021, we can make 2022 still the best year, like you said. Sorry to hear that. All right. But like you said, in spite of that, I want to keep myself healthy. I think that's a great mindset going into the new year. 2021 has been, and 2020, all right. Let's not forget, guys, and this is why I'm really pushing for 2022 to be the best year that we can make it, because, it's been a tough 2 years, all right? Everything that we've been going on, all right? Pandemic, everything else, even family, family stuff, mental health, all these things that we're hearing coming from the pandemic. So I think the first and foremost, if we can be the best version of ourselves, we can be better for others. That's what I always tell people, all right? If we're healthy, if we're feeling good, if we're taking care of ourselves, because some people I'll have some clients who'll tell me, well, my first priority is other people. It could be family members, could be friends, whatever it is. That's great. I think we should all be doing that. But again, if we're not the best version of ourselves or living a healthy life, we can't give ourselves or as much to other people than we could if we're not dealing with certain issues, pain, things of that nature. So I'd like to think that if we're taking care of ourselves, we can be better for others as well. I take krill omega 50 plus. Great, Angela. Oh, with coenzyme Q10. Very nice. Coenzyme Q10, very underrated. I've been big on coenzyme Q10 for a number of years. I actually got family members on that. Last over a decade maybe. That's great. And I eat fatty salmon maybe once or twice a week. I eat sockeye, wild fish. All right, very nice. Is that okay? I think yes. If it's once or twice a week, Angela, absolutely. You're going to be getting great omega-3s from that for sure. Sockeye, wild fish, I think, especially with your supplementation, nothing wrong with that. Sockeye salmon, all right, wild. Again, I wouldn't have it every day, but again, a couple times a week, once or twice, you're doing yourself a great job there. All right, so very, very nice. And again, that coenzyme Q10, getting that extra in there, very, very nice. Again, it can be hard to add that to our diet. Sometimes we have to supplement with it. But yeah, only eating, if you're taking your omega, I take krill omega 50 plus with coenzyme Q10. If you're doing that, daily or every other day, perfect. If you're eating, fatty fish like salmon once or twice a week, you're doing a great job getting omega 3s in there. So excellent, Angela. I would keep that up 100%. The important thing is that you're getting those omega-3s in, and it can be in through a number of different ways. I just find it easier through supplementation. Just in my diet, my diet is pre-made, so the supplementation is in there. Yeah, Toom, that's why, go for wild, just like Angela is, and that's why I was saying, once or twice a week, you'll be fine. So as long as you're not having it every single day, and it just depends, you can find without high mercury or anything like that. There's a lot of options out there now, more so than there was 10, 15 years ago, that's for sure. Tuna is really a big one for high mercury as well. I know it was 10 years ago. They've been trying to reduce that. But yeah, you just got to be careful a little bit, not overdoing it. It's 2 pills a day. Yes. Is it liquid gels then? The liquid pills, Angela? I think I know exactly which ones you're talking about. I would assume that it's liquid pills. Yeah, maybe once, twice. Absolutely. So you're doing it in moderation, Angela, which is exactly what we want. I do the same thing, to be honest with you. So we know fish oil, great. Omega-3s, if we can increase that, there's so many important benefits. And we want to make sure the ratio between omega-3s and omega-6s is one that's healthy for us. All right, again, we have this distorted ratio, let's be honest, of fatty acids, all right, between omega-3s and other fats like omega-6s, omega-9s. All right. Again, if you don't have that good ratio, all right, it can lead to certain diseases, or at least increase your risk of certain diseases. But that's why I want you to try to increase your omega-3s. All right, omega-3s is the important one here. It's easy to get those omega-6s, polyunsaturated, monounsaturated fats, a lot easier. I think omega-3s is the big one to focus on for this year. Now, why omega-3s? Like I said, heart disease is the leading cause of death worldwide, and it's only increasing. Right? We know that people who are taking fish oil, all right, getting omega-3s have lower rates of heart disease. All right? Fish oil and omega-3 supplementation are awesome for overall heart health. One, can help regulate blood pressure levels. It can help reduce plaques, or at least prevent plaque buildup in the arteries, causing the arteries to harden, atherosclerosis. All right, so keeping our arteries healthy, blood vessels healthy. It can help to reduce triglycerides significantly. All right, and it can also help to increase, this is the amazing thing, which I love about it, not only can it reduce total cholesterol levels, but reduce bad LDL cholesterol and increase good HDL cholesterol. So you're getting that 1-2 punch I like to talk about when it comes to cholesterol. Not only are you reducing the bad, you're increasing the good, and increasing the good is going to help take care of sort of getting rid of and flushing out some of the bad, which is good. We want cholesterol, that good cholesterol increasing. And a lot of foods will reduce bad LDL cholesterol, all right, but don't really have too much of an effect or a good effect on increasing that HDL cholesterol. Now remember, we don't want to take cholesterol to zero. We need some cholesterol in the body. We just want to make sure we're not high in LDL cholesterol. All right, cholesterol is produced by the body. Of course, we need some. So I think that's an important part. It can help with heart disease, all right, reducing heart disease. All right, the other nice thing is that it can help to reduce inflammation. It's great for the joints, all right, awesome for our joints. And, there's a lot of, inflammation, all right, inflammation-related chronic diseases out there, guys. So if we can reduce inflammation, I think that's very, very important. Reducing inflammation, it can help boost immunity, the immune system. All right, it can fight infections. All right, chronic inflammation, like I said, is associated with a lot of chronic illnesses, such as heart disease, which we want to avoid, such as diabetes, even with mood and brain function and brain health, Alzheimer's disease. They're finding more and more research that's being done, finding that chronic inflammation can increase your risk of Alzheimer's disease, the buildup of amyloid plaques, all right, in the body, in the brain. So we want to make sure that we're getting that omega-3 fatty acids just for those. Omega-3s are anti-inflammatory. Chronic inflammation leads to cancer. That's awesome. I don't know if you said that before. I just brought that up too. Sometimes when I'm kind of going on my rants, I'm looking a little bit at my notes, but I'm looking at almost like the health food picture right here. So I apologize if you said that before, Toom, but that's interesting. We both said it is anti-inflammatory, 100%, reduce chronic inflammation. Physio Omega, never heard of it, Yannick. Can you explain to me what that is? I might have. Physio Omega, is that exactly what it's known as? But again, reducing inflammation, all right, very, very important. All right, the other thing, all right, yes, it can help with mood, all right, so omega-3s can help with mood, and we know over the last couple of years, all right, mood, mental health decline, that's been going on and on, just because of everything that's been going on the last 2 years with the pandemic, lockdowns, shutdowns, all right, everything that's been going on. So we know that, supplementation with omega-3s is good for our mood, great for, reducing mental decline, preventing symptoms with that. Again, speak with your medical practitioner because that can be a very complex issue, right? But we know that it can have benefits related to those types of symptoms. The other important thing is that we see in studies that omega-3s, with everything that we said, omega-3 is great for our joints. If you're dealing with any arthritis symptoms, joint pain, swelling, stiffness, like that lack of mobility is just horrible with arthritis symptoms, swelling as well, pain, things we don't want to be dealing with. All right, it can help to reduce that. All right, so great for our joints. We also know that it's very healthy, and maybe someone else said this. I'm gonna go back, but it's healthy for our liver. All right, omega-3 fatty acids, fish oil supplementation, healthy for our liver. Why? Because fat is processed through the liver. All right, your liver processes most of the fat that you eat. All right, so the nice thing about reducing fat in the liver, all right, it can be as fat starts to accumulate, all right, that's when you can start to deal with chronic illness, chronic diseases like fatty liver disease. We've seen through a number of different studies, and this is particular, all right, it's like, I think I found something like 5 studies, fish oil supplements, one can improve liver function and inflammation, and can have the ability to reduce symptoms related to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease and the amount of fat in your liver. All right, and that's something that's going up and up every single year. Every year, increasing in fatty liver disease. Again, having to deal with our diet, living a more sedentary lifestyle, all right, not eating the proper foods to help clean out some of the fat that's building up in our liver. All right, we really want to decrease fatty liver disease, especially non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. That's much easier to treat. We obviously know if we have alcoholic, if we're drinking alcohol and that's leading to liver disease, of course we know what the issue is there. But non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, if we're eating the right foods, if we're working out, getting some of that movement in, I like to say 150 minutes per week, then we know, all right, we're doing a good job of being able to potentially reverse, all right, and improve the function of the liver and inflammation that's caused in the liver. All right, but I found it very interesting in these studies. Again, it was 5 I had written down here. Fish oil, and this was looking at just fish oil supplementation because of omega-3s and because of the health benefits of fish oil. All right, it's going to improve liver function, reduce inflammation, all right, and can help to relieve symptoms of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. That's a mouthful. Non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, all right, and the amount of fat in your liver. I think it's very, very important. Your liver health is extremely important. All right? Tons of functions. All right? It's your filter. You're right, Tammy. Milk thistle is great for our liver, absolutely, 100%. Yes, it has DPA, DHA, EPA. Very nice. All right, so if it has that, then, that's great. That's your omega-3s right there, Yannick. Physio Omega. I'll have to look into that. I've never heard of that specifically. But yeah, if you're getting, that DHA, EPA, of course, that's going to be great. And you're right, Tammy. Milk thistle, that's a nice one. Nice supplementation for cleansing the liver. Absolutely. The name of the distributor. Okay, that's sort of what I thought, maybe. Just because I had never, I had never heard exactly of Physio Omega. But very interesting. Morgan, I'm a psychologist and work in adult mental health. That's awesome, Morgan. I did not know that. I'm just sort of processing that, but that's great. I did not know that about you. I know I know maybe you might have mentioned one time, doing a session on healthy food and mood. I think that would be amazing. So it makes sense. Adult mental health, you can probably speak to it as well with the increase in the last couple of years of increasing levels of things like depression, anxiety. I've seen some of the numbers and some of the studies. You've seen it probably firsthand basis. I've seen it with clients, stress levels going up and up. I think, it's very, very important, and fish oil can potentially help to reduce it. I'm not saying, again, that by taking a fish oil supplement and getting omega-3s, all right, because that's really what we're talking about here, increasing omega-3s. I'm not saying it's making you immune to certain mental health disorders, but it can put you in a good position for reducing the risk and potentially treating and reducing some of the symptoms. It's such a complex issue. I think it'd be very irresponsible of me to say, take fish oil supplement and then you're gonna reduce your symptoms related to mental health. I just think that would just be very irresponsible of me, just because there's so many things that are involved with mental health and things like that. I know that with our studies, though, we have the ability to help reduce some of the risk factors. Okay, and then a lot of that, again, remember, you want that good ratio between omega-3s and omega-6s, guys. With obesity via COVID. Yeah, absolutely. That's a big one too, and one of the reasons why we had our discussion on the epidemic of obesity, and just the numbers and the increase in obesity. And not only the United States, we know the United States gets sort of a bad rap for increasing obesity levels, but here in Canada as well, we talked about the numbers of obesity in the United States. Fish oil supplements, I don't always like to talk about the weight loss benefits of some certain foods because, it's not like you eat certain foods or drink something and you melt away belly fat or you melt away fat. But the thing is, with fish oil supplementation, we saw that it can increase, significantly decrease, chronic diseases, certain chronic diseases that we've gone over. But we also know obesity, all right, can increase the risk of heart disease, type 2 diabetes, certain types of cancers, all right. But the interesting thing was some studies have shown that fish oil supplementation can help with losing weight, all right. And we talked about losing weight in our last discussion. Now, the thing that I'm going to point out here, all right, and again, irresponsible of me to say, take fish oil supplementation, then you'll lose weight. It's going to help if it's a combination of good diet and movement or exercise, whatever you want to call it. All right. So if you're doing a combination of all of that, it can be a tool for weight loss. All right. I'm missing some. Thank you so much for the thumbs up, guys. Thank you everyone who's coming in. Being in here so early on New Year's Eve, I know it's not easy. So thank you so much everyone who's coming in, and thank you everyone supporting the channel. Hi everyone, mother and son, great to have you in here. Hi everyone, happy New Year's Eve, guys. Thank you, mother and son. Sending love here. Well, thank you so much. It's great to have you. Great to have you in chat. And happy New Year's Eve to you as well. And I hope you have a safe, healthy, great New Year's and, great 2022. Avoid processed foods. Absolutely. Avoid processed foods, as much as you can. When you say don't take the LDL to zero, are you meaning taking too much of the good stuff? Okay, Angela, that's a good question. So a lot of people will think, and it's pretty much when I say taking LDL cholesterol to zero, what I mean is you're going to have some LDL cholesterol in your body. All right. You know, that bad LDL cholesterol, what's always referred to as bad LDL cholesterol. All right. We need some LDL cholesterol. We need some cholesterol in our body to be healthy. Our body produces it. I believe it's either through the liver or pancreas. For some reason, I can't remember it off the top of my head. All right. But it's actually produced through the body. All right. And that's why you want to make sure your liver function, pancreas function is healthy. But your LDL cholesterol, like a healthy LDL cholesterol, doesn't mean you have zero. It just means that you're not high. Right, so when you go and get tested, you'll see your LDL cholesterol numbers measured through blood testing and things like that. A healthy level wouldn't be zero. You would need some LDL cholesterol. All right, you just want to make sure you're not high, because that's when you can lead to issues with certain heart disease, LDL oxidation, even with fatty deposits, high triglyceride levels, things like that, even inflammation, once you start getting into those higher levels of LDL. So not really meaning taking too much of the good stuff or increasing only HDL cholesterol. We just want to make sure it's the exact same. Think of it as blood pressure. A good blood pressure is usually, 120 over, 120 over 80, I believe. 80 over 120. Sorry, I'm kind of 120 over 80. So think about it as that your good healthy blood pressure, all right, isn't zero. That's unhealthy. All right, we need that blood pressure, all right, is not going to be zero. Of course, if it was zero, all right, your heart would stop. So we need some LDL cholesterol in our body. All right, we just don't want it to be high, just like we don't want our blood pressure to be high. All right, and so that's what I'm kind of meaning when I say you wouldn't take your LDL cholesterol to zero. Again, that's not wouldn't be healthy. It's just you want healthy levels of LDL cholesterol. I hope that helps sort of explain there a little bit. But yeah, and again, it's produced through the body, so you're gonna have a little bit in there regardless. But it's gonna go up through. More so, the biggest thing is gonna be sedentary lifestyle and obesity, Angela. A lot of people will focus on cholesterol, high cholesterol foods. We know that serum cholesterol levels, there's not a huge sort of correlation between taking in high cholesterol foods and increasing serum cholesterol levels. Now, it's not to say you want to go out and eat 8 eggs a day or 10 eggs a day, but we know living a sedentary life, not getting enough exercise, getting that 150 minutes per day, we know that's going to have a more bigger effect on your serum cholesterol levels. So I hope that helps answer your question, Angela. Okay, so I think that we've kind of gone over fish oil. I think we can move on from that. I think you guys get the point. We don't need to overdo it. But sauerkraut, omega-3s. When we talk about fish oil supplementation, the big thing that we're really talking about is making sure that we're getting enough omega-3s, EPA, DHA, and ALA, alpha-linolenic acid. And another good source of alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, would be walnuts. All right, so just make sure you're getting in those omega-3s. Okay, so another great one here, guys, and here's one that I would like you, because this is one we don't talk a lot about on the channel. So number 1, sauerkraut. Number 2, all right, omega-3s, fish oil supplementation if you need to, all right? But remember, you can get omega-3s through sardines, anchovies, salmon, cod liver oil. Shout out to Susan, who I know is a big fan of cod liver oil, and I was as well. All right, but now I'm just taking a fish oil supplement. So omega-3s will be the next one. All right, so fish oil supplementation. That's how I would do it. That's how I do it. Because, again, it's hard to eat salmon every day. It can be a little expensive as well. Another food that I think, and one that we don't talk a lot about on the channel. We talk a lot, and this is going to be another fat source here, guys. So I'm going to jump to one more fat source before I get into two that I think are very, very important. So we'll talk about this one a little bit quicker. But we talk about almonds, we talk about walnuts a lot. One food, and I know, and sometimes people will say that this is a little bit more expensive. The thing is, you don't have to eat it in large amounts, and that's pecans or pecans. I'm going to call them pecans. People pronounce them differently all the time. All right, maybe I'll say pecans. This is how I grew up saying it. But some people will say pecans. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. So pecans. All right, pecans. All right, tree nuts. You know, all right, people are a little bit worried of them being more expensive. All right, but again, you don't have to eat a lot of them to get the health benefits of them. All right, one of the healthier nuts that we can have, nut varieties. All right, pecans are very, very healthy. All right, and we're going to talk about why. Again, we talk about almonds, we talk about walnuts. One that we might want to add to our diet is pecans, because I know, especially if you've been listening to these chats, then you know that I like almonds and walnuts. They might even be a staple in your diet. They're a staple in mine. But one that I'm trying to increase is pecans, and here's why. All right, so many essential nutrients in pecans. All right, they're so healthy, very nutrient dense. One of my favorites. All right, yes, you want to keep them in moderation anyway. All right, so you don't need to eat a lot of them. All right, one reason is because they're a little bit higher in calories, a little bit higher in fat. Obviously, it's a fat source, but they're so high in essential nutrients and healthy fats. Okay, so even 1 ounce, you don't even have to eat that much. 1 ounce is more than enough. All right, something like 25 grams of pecans. It's going to be higher in fat. I wouldn't probably eat an ounce. All right, you don't need an ounce in your diet to get the benefits of pecans. All right? I don't know if you guys are a big fan of pecans or if you're eating pecans now, but I think that's a food that we can add into our diet for a healthier 2022. Better than walnuts? I think the best way to say it, Tammy, is just different from walnuts. Different health benefits. Is very similar to walnuts. I think both are great, but they're just gonna offer different health benefits in general. All right, building off both of those, walnuts, you know that I'm a huge fan of healthy fats. You get omega-3 fatty acids in walnuts. Tons of nutrients in there. I would say, hand in hand. If you're eating walnuts right now, that's fine. All right. If you're eating almonds right now, that's fine too. Other healthy nut varieties. But one that's often overlooked, all right, and one we don't really necessarily talk about on the channel too much is pecans. All right. And then why do I like pecans for 2022 for you? All right, and if you're having almonds and walnuts, you can just switch it up a little bit. But one, super high in fiber, all right, low in carbohydrates, which is great. All right, so you're not going to get that blood glucose spike from pecans. All right, there's some protein in them, but very, very nutrient dense, like super high in things like B vitamins, zinc, copper. I think it's tremendous. I mean, you're getting thiamine, like vitamin B1. I think zinc is another important one that you're going to get. And we've talked about a little bit in that vitamin D3, K2, and then our mineral zinc. We talked about the importance of zinc. You're also going to get good levels of magnesium. All right, so very, very nutrient dense. You don't need a ton of them. Roasted walnuts taste like popcorn. Yeah, walnuts are very popular nut here on the channel. Absolutely. It's same with almonds. You guys know, especially Tammy, you would know this because you're in a lot of our chats. I always talk about walnuts and almonds and why that they're such a great choice. But I think pecans can be another great one for you guys going into 2022. Again, you're not going to get a good, huge blood sugar increase, blood glucose level increase from eating pecans. Like I said, it's your fat source, very low in carbohydrates, great source of fiber, very nutrient dense. Just make sure that you're having them in moderation. The reason why I like zinc, and even Toom pointing out zinc in pumpkin seeds, of course, all right, key mineral found. It's one of the key minerals found in pecans. All right, and it's necessary. It's vital for immune system function, cell growth, and also brain function. So getting good levels of zinc from pecans, tons of tremendous health benefits. Not only are you increasing healthy fats, all right, micronutrients, all right, and fiber, but you're getting all of these health benefits as well. Just like you would from walnuts, just like you would for almonds, all right, but pecans are just kind of adding to those health benefits. And again, it's one that you might want to think of if you're not having them already in your diet. Thaumatrope. If memory serves me correctly, we need only 6 pecans a day. Well, you know what? It's very, very interesting. I think 6 would be, if it's halves. I'm not sure if we're talking halves or because usually they'll come in halves. 6 seems more than enough, to be honest with you. When it comes to almonds, 1 serving of almonds for me is 10, no more than that. And it's the same thing. Maybe I'm thinking halves with walnuts, but it's like 10 halves, sometimes 12 now, 20 grams of walnuts per, if I'm going to have a serving of fat. So, I think if you're doing 20 grams of pecans, that's more than enough. Once you get close to 30, you're getting 200 calories. That's a lot. You're getting 20 grams of fat. That's a lot of fat in the diet. I think if you keep it closer to that 15, 20 grams, I think that's more than enough. All right, you're getting a lot of the health benefits from that. Yeah, zinc is also great for prostate health for sure. All right, and I like it for our immune system as well. Zinc plays a vital role too, and just like you're saying, in a number of different bodily processes. So that's why I like the high levels of zinc that are found in pecans. But you're right, Thelma, you don't need a lot, right? That's the thing I like about it. And then why people will say, pecans are a little bit more expensive. Don't need to have a ton every single day. A little bit every day, moderation, and you're going to want to keep it in moderation because of the amount of fat that are in pecans, the amount of calories that are in them. We only need 2 Brazil nuts. They're high in selenium. Absolutely, Toom. If you're having Brazil nuts, 1 to 3 max. I'm pretty tall. I'm 6'3", maybe even closer to 6'4". I work out for a living. Well, I don't work out for a living. Train people for a living and do food consultations. So I'm not a small guy. I don't go over. I'll usually have 1 or 2. It's very, very high in selenium. You do not need more than 3. I think if you're going over 3, doing yourself a big disservice with going over, that selenium intake, your daily value of selenium, 100%. So just be careful with that with walnuts, because I have some family Brazil nuts. Some family members, they'll eat Brazil nuts like they eat almonds. They'll have like 10, 11 without thinking. And they're, they're tasty. Like a lot of people like them for their taste. It's the same with cashews, pistachios. They'll eat Brazil nuts just like that. 1 to 3 being the max. I would stick at like 1 or 2, just like you're saying, Toom. I'll usually have 1 and I'm good to go. But yeah, the like you're saying, they're high in something, just selenium. Absolutely. So pecans, very, very nice. I like pecans. Great source of fiber, copper, thiamine, zinc, you name it. It's got it in there. Magnesium, phosphorus, a little bit of iron, I think is great. B vitamins are often overlooked, guys. All right, but things like thiamine can really help converting carbs into energy. All right, burning. So you're burning carbohydrates, using it as fuel. That's great, because if not, a lot of the times it's going to get stored as fat, or at least it can increase the risk of that. Now, we also know one of the big things with pecans, and because why intermittent fasting is so popular right now, why keto is so popular, and so many people are on those diets, right? But again, we don't have to be on the diet to be able to get the benefits from pecans, but if you are, this is why pecans are so popular. But one of the things I like about pecans as well is that it can help to stabilize and regulate blood sugar levels. We've seen through some studies, right, that pecans can help in a number of different ways with stabilizing blood sugar. So you're not increasing those blood glucose levels, which we want, because, that's a big thing right now. You'll see that in a lot of discussions, insulin sensitivity, insulin resistance, things of that nature. It's important. If we're having pecans, we're stabilizing blood sugar, which is very nice. A lot of that is attributed to the fiber content. Like we mentioned, there's lots of fiber in pecans, which is great. Right? But the nice thing is, with pecans, you're getting a nice sort of mix of insoluble fiber and soluble fiber. So I think that's really good, because the soluble fiber, again, it doesn't dissolve in water. It's more like gel forming. All right, so that's kind of my easiest way to explain it. It's gel-like material. All right, it's going to move through the digestive tract more slowly. And by doing that, it's going to slow down the absorption of sugar, carbohydrates, fructose. All right, think of sugar or anything like that. Remember, there's different types, different types of sugars out there. Glucose, fructose, things of that nature. All right, it's going to slow down the absorption of sugar into the blood. All right, so we're not going to get that high increase or spike in blood glucose levels from pecans, which is very nice. Yes, pistachios are addictive, aren't they? I have family members who, love pistachios. A small amount. That's exactly, Angela. Small amount, little bit here, 6, like Thaumatrope said, like 6 pecans a day is very, very nice. You're going to get the health benefits from 6. All right, like that 20 grams, like I said, 15 to 20 grams is all you need. All right, if you're going over that, then you're getting a lot of calories. And again, it depends on your macronutrient needs. All right, depending on your macronutrients, all right, you can kind of give and take a little bit with that 6. But you're going to get good health benefits from 6 pecans a day. 15 grams, 20 grams of pecans. All right. Again, pecans are nice, especially with all the diets out there. All right. And wanting to make sure that we're not having spikes in our insulin levels. All right. So keeping the hormonal response, because remember, insulin is a hormone. All right. Pecans can help to regulate that, stabilize blood sugar. All right. Which is very, very important. All right. Here's the other important thing, guys. In some studies, we've seen that when we're eating pecans, and this was related only to pecans, no other nut, all right, even for, I would say it was a pretty short term, because it was for basically a month, it improved the body's ability to use insulin more effectively. All right, and remember, insulin is the hormone that transports sugar from your bloodstream into your cells, so it can help to improve insulin effectively. All right, so you're not going to be, it's sort of reducing your risk of things like insulin sensitivity, insulin resistance. All right, not increasing insulin. All right, which is nice, and that's why I like pecans. And through those studies, very, very important. Things like pecans, all right, can improve the function of beta cells in the pancreas. Again, we're talking all about the important things in these diets where we don't want to increase insulin. All right, so a diet with pecans in it, all right, we know is going to improve the function of beta cells in the pancreas. All right, again, largely in correlation with insulin, which is because pancreas is responsible for insulin production. All right, these beta cells in the pancreas. All right, so it can help with improved function of these beta cells. Again, improving things like insulin resistance, insulin sensitivity, not spiking those insulin levels. All right, and stabilizing blood sugar, which is very important. What about raw sunflower seeds? Or regular ones, no salt ones. Yeah, they're very, very, very healthy as well, Angela. Sunflower seeds, absolutely. Good source of healthy fats, 100%. Think nothing. If you're going to have seed varieties, we want to talk about that for a second. I think if you're having things like, flax seeds in moderation, but also pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Absolutely. Great, tremendous fat source. 100%. I would go with the regular ones as opposed, like the no salt ones, as opposed to the salt added, if you can. sometimes with the salt added, people will worry a little bit because of the sodium. It's interesting. If you look at the ones with salt, the sodium levels are still quite low. But I would always still go to. I would also, go for the, non-salted if you can. Absolutely. So pecans, very, very important when it comes to stabilizing blood sugar, obviously for insulin production, all right? And that insulin, more and more, we're learning more and more about that hormone, all right, and how important it is for our overall health. So that's why I have pecans on the list, guys. You're getting the specific benefit of stabilizing blood sugar, all right, and the improvement and function of beta cells in the pancreas, which is responsible for insulin production. All right, I think it's tremendous. All right, also it's going to slow down the absorption of sugar into the bloodstream, so you're not spiking blood sugar, all right, and spiking insulin levels. By having pecans, it can help to regulate that. I think very, very important. All right, we want to make sure that we respect the hormonal response that foods can have on the body. All right, and pecans are going to be a great one for that. Christine, okay, pecans for me. I need some sort of pecan sponsorship maybe now. But again, pecans are just one of the foods that you can eat. All right, almonds are good, walnuts are good, but if you're going to add one, the reason why I have pecans on here, you get these health benefits, but also it's one that we don't talk about on the channel a lot, and it's one that's often overlooked. But I think one of the healthiest nut varieties out there, and tons of tremendous health benefits when it comes to insulin and the hormonal response of our body. So that's great, Christine. I've tried increasing them as well. This was the one. Remember I said 4 this at the very beginning of this stream. If you were to go back and listen, I said 4 are literally staples in my diet. I have every single day. Pecans are the ones that is the one of the 5 that I'm trying to add more and more into, and I'm starting to add more and more into as I'm learning more and more about the health benefits. Almonds and walnuts were always a staple. All right, but now I'm switching to pecans just a little bit and keeping them in moderation, like Thalma said. Nuts and seeds seem to be very underrated. Yes, Morgan, I think they are, especially as a healthy fat source. The only thing with nuts and seeds, all right, they're underrated for their health benefits, I believe. All right, for their health promoting benefits, because a lot of people wouldn't know, but almonds are very high in antioxidants if you keep the skin on, so non-blanched almonds. Walnuts have great levels, or good levels at least, of omega-3 fatty acids. A lot of people wouldn't know that. The only thing is where they're not underrated is a lot of people like the taste of things like cashews, pistachios, and things of that nature. We just want to make sure that we're keeping it in moderation. All right. Yes, you're going to get more and more nutrients because they're also very nutrient dense. Right. We just want to make sure that we're keeping it in moderation, because not only is it nutrient dense, but it's also high in fat. All right. And that's not a bad thing. We need fat in our diet. We just don't want to overdo it. All right. Because if we're, very, very high in fats, all right, we could necessarily put ourselves into a calorie surplus, which means that we're going to be gaining weight. All right, which we don't want to do as well. We want to maintain a healthy weight and not be gaining weight. So it's very easy to overdo it on nuts and seeds. The serving size, like I said, for pecans, if you have an ounce of pecans, I believe it's 1 ounce, so something close to 30 grams, you're going to be getting 20 grams of fat. Quick math, all right, 20 grams of fat is going to be close to 200 calories alone, and that's just in 1 ounce of pecans. All right, so it's like, I think to be very, very specific, it's like 190 or something like that. But again, 1 ounce, just 1 small ounce of pecans, all right, 200 calories in and about 20 grams of fat. That's almost not quite, but it's almost half the fat of the recommended daily value for most individuals, depending on your weight, all right, because it's going to move your macronutrients, and calorie maintenance is going to depend on 1, your body weight, and then 2, how much muscle you have, how active you are, things of that nature. But I think pecans are a good one, guys, and one that I'm trying to add. Again, other important things, again, heart health, very, very It's a great source of monounsaturated fatty acids. This is why I didn't put avocados in there. We know through a lot of the talks that we've had, we know avocados a superfood in and of themselves. All right, we know avocados are high in monounsaturated fats. Pecans also very high in monounsaturated fats. That type of fat, very beneficial for overall heart health. Now, the nice thing too is when it comes to monounsaturated fats, and especially pecans, if you have about that 1 ounce, 30 grams, give or take, all right, regularly, again, I would keep it more so at 20 grams. All right, just be careful of how much calories and how much fat you're taking in. One, it can reduce total cholesterol. All right, it can help to reduce, LDL cholesterol and improve the ratio of LDL to good HDL cholesterol in the blood, which is important because remember, we want that HDL cholesterol. We also know, that individuals who were eating pecans regularly, saw a significant lowering of bad LDL cholesterol. Again, so very, very important. So what we're finding in these studies having to do with pecans and heart health, reduced levels of total cholesterol, reduced levels of bad LDL cholesterol, reduced levels of triglycerides, so fat within our blood, again, can lead to fatty deposits, atherosclerosis, reduce the risk of the health of our arteries and blood vessels, all right? All of which are risk factors for heart disease, and we can increase HDL cholesterol. So amazing, tons of heart health benefits when it comes to pecans as well. I think that cannot be overlooked. Lastly, we already know, not already know, but we're already starting to see that pecans can have certain nutrients, in them, because as we already said, very micronutrient dense, but also with the monounsaturated and to a certain extent the polyunsaturated fatty acids, one can help reduce inflammation, which is associated to the decrease of mental decline. So what I mean by that is inflammation, so the chronic inflammation, which we talked about a little bit earlier, correlated with a decrease in mental decline. So if we can reduce inflammation, we're reducing the risk of mental decline, which I think is important as we see, more and more inflammation in our diet. People are writing about, inflammation and the effects that it has on certain chronic diseases, heart health, diabetes, brain function, brain health, cancers, things of that nature. We know pecans can be very, very important for promoting brain function, I think, which is, can't go understated right now. Huge studies, thousands of individuals, over a long-term effect, eating nut varieties like pecans can improve long-term cognition. We see that in certain studies. So, this is why I'm pointing out, the importance of pecans. We've talked a ton about almonds and walnuts. Pecans in and of themselves, tons of tremendous benefits. Nutrient dense, high in fiber, especially that insoluble fiber. Great fat source in monounsaturated, saturated fats. Okay, we know it's great for insulin. All right, reducing insulin sensitivity, reducing insulin resistance. All right, helping beta cells in the pancreas. All right, which is again important because that's connected to insulin production. All right, and we also know that it can help to stabilize blood sugar levels, increase heart health, promote brain function. It doesn't get better than that, guys. Great fiber as well. So digestive, can help with digestive system. So how tremendous is that? I don't know if I'm trying not to sell you too much, on certain foods. Again, if you're eating almonds and walnuts, that's great too. The point of the chat is if you're not having pecans, then think about maybe adding those into your diet. And these are the health benefits and the benefits you can look forward to if you are adding them. So far, we've gone over 3 foods if you're just getting in here. We've gone over sauerkraut. We've gone over omega-3s through fish oil supplementation. So the foods are sauerkraut, fish oil, or fatty fish because of the omega-3s, and then also pecans, which I think 3 of the healthiest foods that we can start adding into our diet, and 3 overlooked foods. The thing I've seen in chat a lot is, Not a lot of individuals consuming sauerkraut on a regular basis. All right. Omega-3s are often overlooked. Omega-6s, all right, very easy to add to our diet, all right, or at least we tend to be higher in omega-6s, lower in omega-3s, all right, and then also we know that a lot of nut varieties are healthy for us. A lot of the popular ones are like almonds, walnuts. We talked about Brazil nuts, pistachios, cashews. All right, let's start thinking a little bit about pecans. You can keep them in moderation as well. So those are the three. All right, we still got two important ones here. All right, now one, all right, you can call it a food. I just think anything that you consume, some people will kind of, bring up, well, you don't eat it, you drink it. Well, same thing. If you consume it, all right, I'm going to call it a food. So the next one is going to be green tea, guys. All right, green tea. I think if we're adding green tea into our diet in 2022, I think we're doing ourselves a huge service to our overall health. All right. Again, green tea can be fairly popular, right? But individuals, I find, tend to focus a lot on herbal teas, on dark teas, and things like that. I think green tea is one of the best things that you can consume. So a lot of people will find it hard to get their water consumption up. This is another reason why I think green tea is tremendous. It's going to be hydrating. It's going to help you increase water intake, because we know a ton of the population, a ton of my clients are chronically dehydrated. Well, if we start adding 1 or 2 green teas into our diet a day, that's a great way to add water, liquid into our diet, so we're not dealing with chronic dehydration. I'd always say, guys, when it comes to nutrition, the best things that you can do for your body is increase water, because so many people are only drinking 1 to 2 glasses of water a day, just not enough. All right, we need to make sure that we're aiming for that 3 liters at least. Again, take it step by step. Don't just jump from half a liter to 3. Take it step by step, but try to get to that 3 liters. Again, they recommend 3 to 6. 6 is quite high for most people. Start with 3 and then go from there. So green tea, guys, tremendous health benefits when it comes to green tea. It's funny you say that, Toon, because the teas that I have are matcha green tea and usually green ginger tea, or sometimes turmeric green tea. But I always try to have 2 a day, and it's larger teas, because you see a lot of the benefits. A lot of the studies show that you have to drink quite a bit of green tea to maximize the benefit. You're going to get benefits from drinking green tea a day, but to maximize and optimize the benefits of green tea, you're looking at 3 to 4 cups. Well, if I have 2 and it's 20 ounces of green tea, so larger cups, all right, I'm drinking quite a bit of green tea. It's almost 48 ounces of green tea a day. That's more than enough, at least for me. I'm happy with that. So I drink green tea every morning. It's great. Absolutely. I like drinking it in the morning. I'll have a coffee, but I'll drink it. I'm fairly lucky where I'm not too sensitive to caffeine, so I can drink green tea anytime during the day. If you are a little bit more sensitive, I would kind of have it earlier in the day, not so much at nighttime, because it can have a little bit of caffeine in it. Of course, not as much or nearly as much as coffee, but it can have a little bit of caffeine in it, so you might want to be just a little bit aware of that if you are sensitive to it. Ginger slices to the tea. I think it's a great mix. It gives it a little bit of flavor. You get the health benefits of ginger. I think it's great. I do the same thing with turmeric. But the important thing, the base is going to be green tea. All right, so the base is green tea. And then you can just add things to that. So it can be like turmeric. It can be like ginger. It can be anything along those lines. So green tea is the next one here, guys. All right. I think green tea is tremendous health benefits. Like I said, one of the healthiest beverages. All right. It's known as one of the healthiest drinks on the planet. That's how it's known. That's what it's referred to as. Sorry, give me 1 second here, guys. Okay, sorry about that. And we are back. But yes, I think green tea, one of the healthiest beverages that we can consume. So many health benefits. If we're not drinking green tea, that's one of the things that we might want to add in 2022. Again, you don't have to jump up to 3 to 4 glasses. Even if you're just starting out with one, again, you're going to get the health benefits. Tons of antioxidants, EGCG, which is not found in many other types of, and again, I'm going to call it a food. Anything we can consume, all right, anything where, if it's a drink, if it's a liquid, doesn't matter. If we're consuming it, I'm going to call it a food. But I think it's one of the healthier ones that we can be, at least one of the healthiest beverages that we can have, guys. And it's going to help with hydration levels. We start there. We start with hydration. We're going to get into the health benefits of why I think green tea is so important. Yeah, you heard that, Thelma? I had to turn that off. I don't know. That's what happens when you have people that you're are in the background. I didn't know if you guys could hear it. Don't worry, it wasn't the fire alarm. I like sauerkraut, but I have thin tooth enamel, so it's hard on my teeth. Yes, Christina, it can be an issue. Try your best. Again, it's not going to be for everyone. It's the same thing. Some people just don't like the taste, so you'd have to find a recipe that you can kind of mask that taste a little bit. I have one. I should probably share it on the channel. But, if you have to mask it, there's ways that you can do it. I should put the recipe up there because I think it's a very easy way to get sauerkraut. I mean, it has a little bit of protein in it, avocado, broccoli, onions, a little bit of garlic, and then quite a bit of sauerkraut because I can't taste it, and then just a little bit of hot sauce. So very low calories. And I love drinking lemon water. Yeah, that's the thing, Christine, as well. If you love drinking lemon water, Christine, and you're dealing with thin tooth enamel, try to drink it through a straw. That's just one tip. That way you're not doing a little bit of more potential damage to the enamel of your teeth because it can be a little bit acidic. So just one tip, maybe drink through a straw. You might be doing that as well. Yeah, lemon water is great as also. Green tea with fresh ginger or manuka honey. Yep, very nice. It's another popular way, a little bit of green tea with honey in it. Absolutely. So we know why is green tea on my list? Well, one, we know it's super healthy. We also know people are chronically dehydrated, not getting enough water. So not only is it going to have all these health promoting benefits we're going to talk about, but it's going to help you to get some water into your diet as well. Here's the main thing, guys. Green tea is loaded. It's packed with antioxidants, tons of tremendous antioxidants. It's going to help reduce inflammation throughout the body. Again, inflammation is going to lead or at least increase the risk of certain chronic diseases. All right. So with antioxidants, you're going to reduce inflammation. All right. One, again, lower the risk of heart disease, improve brain function. You guys see a pattern here. All right. And then again, it can protect against certain cancers. I don't always like talking about, cancers and reducing cancers and things like that. But there's just been so many studies on green tea and its ability to reduce certain types of cancer. Off the top of my head, I believe prostate cancer. Don't quote me on that. But I think that might be one of the big ones. I have it written down. I'll get to it in a sec. Again, sometimes I just like kind of riffing without my notes here, but I believe that might be one of the big ones. Oh, you use a straw, Christine. Exactly. I thought you did. Absolutely. Miso for enamel. It's easier. Yeah, miso's nice. Miso's a good one. Absolutely. Polyphenol antioxidants, absolutely. Polyphenols, sometimes people will pronounce it as I will just call it polyphenols because that's what I've been using for the last 10 years in my videos. So absolutely love green tea, guys. It's more than, again, hydrating, but it's more than just, we know it has more benefits than just hydration. Tremendous bioactive compounds. Like as Toom just said, very, very rich in polyphenols. All right. Polyphenols are great for reducing inflammation. And then that's why I brought up the ability to help reduce cancer. All right, so polyphenols, all right, tremendous health benefits, especially with reducing inflammation. So polyphenols are a type of antioxidant, all right, natural compounds, great reduction in inflammation. Also, we know that green tea, I talked a little bit about EGCG, all right, so a catechin, all right, which are very, very powerful antioxidants in and of themselves. So this is why, again, I love green tea. Right? Catechin known as EGCG. If I could remember the exact term for EGCG, I think it's like epigallocatechin 3 gallate, I believe. So EGCG. I always like throwing that out there because it took me 5 years to remember that. So all you need to remember is EGCG, guys. Tremendous antioxidant. Again, can reduce free radicals, oxidative stress, and cell damage. Making green tea now. Nice, Christine. I will definitely be having a green tea a little bit later. Probably 2 of them. Probably green ginger being one of them, like we talked a little bit about before. But yes, I love green tea. Have it every single day. One of my favorite teas, even just the taste. For some people don't enjoy the taste. For me, I'm lucky. I love green tea. With the EGCG, again, one of the best compound, one of the most potent compounds found in green tea. All right. We see in numerous studies its ability to help reduce the risk of a number of different diseases, and it even has the potential to provide medicinal properties, all right, which is very, 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 very important to point out. We haven't even brought that up in any of the foods yet that we've mentioned. Thank you so much for the thumbs up, guys. I really appreciate it. 41. Like I said, I'm missing them by tens. You guys are hitting that thumb up button so fast, I'm missing out on them. The last one I think I said was 29. So thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. And again, as I always do, big shout out to our members of the channel. Mary was in here. Angela is in here. I hope Mary's still in here. Angela's in here hitting that join button. There's Angela. Love sauerkraut. Same with me, Angela. I'm a big fan now. All right. Our members of the channel supporting the channel, hitting that join button, becoming a Fit Team member. Thank you. Big shout out to the members of the channel. Also, big shout out to Miki and everyone else who was super chatting in the last one, in our last stream. Thank you so much. That's our ways to give back to the channel, guys. Again, as I always point out, I don't want to have a Patreon just because I don't want to block anyone else. I don't want to block anyone out from our discussions here. So the main ways of giving back to the channel, just like you've been doing, thumbing up, your engagement in the chat, absolutely amazing. Very much appreciated. Just being in here, tremendous. I love it. Thank you, guys. And then the other way of giving back, hitting the join button, becoming a Fit Team member, all right, and then also through the super chat function. Those are the 2 ways, and we'll just keep them at that. Again, through the join function, different perks, all right, which are coming into 2022, different programs going to be coming out, all right, ebooks that I have coming out, which I think you guys will find especially beneficial. So thank you. Big shout out to our members of the channel, and big shout out to all of you guys here on New Year's Eve listening and discussing about nutrition going into 2022. So thank you so much to our members of the channel. Yes, absolutely. Bone broth, great for collagen. That was one of the big reasons why it got so popular over the last 5 years. So we know, all right, high amount of bioactive compounds, EGCG probably being the most potent of the compounds, which can provide medicinal properties in green tea. All right. The other thing, all right, that we know about green tea, which we've seen in a number of different studies, is that it can help to improve brain function, which I think is important as well. I already mentioned brain function. All right. But, as I think Toom kind of said, amino acid, all right, L-theanine, absolutely. Amino acids are very, very important. We can get them through a number of different ways. But yes, all right, L-theanine is found in our green tea here, all right, which can, have a number of different health benefits when it comes to brain function, all right. as I like to call it, sort of like brain boosting compounds. And the important thing with L-theanine, if I'm correct, kind of building off Toom's point here, is it can cross the blood-brain barrier. All right, it's one of those amino acids that can cross the blood-brain barrier, which is very, very important, because then that's how we're going to get our improvement in brain function. All right, so very, very important. You know, the little bit of caffeine that's found in green tea, all right, a nice little just like we talked about the synergistic effects of vitamin D3 and vitamin K2, you're going to have a little bit of a synergistic effect with the caffeine that's found in green tea and the L-theanine, the amino acid, and a couple of the other amino acids that are found in green tea. Now, we also know amazing antioxidants. You know, I talked a little bit about the lowering the risk of some sorts of cancer. Again, we'll just go over this quickly because, again, speak with your medical practitioner when it comes to lowering the risk. But again, we'd have numerous studies that show that if we're drinking enough green tea and drinking it regularly enough, all right, it has such powerful antioxidants and antioxidant benefits. It can reduce oxidative damage, chronic inflammation, free radicals, things of that nature. All right. One of the ones here that I wrote down, okay, so I thought I remembered it correctly. Prostate cancer can be one of them. Breast cancer can be another one. I just want to point out, drinking green tea does not make you immune to these things. What I'm saying is these studies are showing that it can reduce the risk of developing these sorts of cancers, but again, does not make us immune to them. So just keep that in mind, guys. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of green tea. Like I said, I have it every day in my diet. Just really quickly, it can again help prevent type 2 diabetes. So studies showing again, and you know, the hormone insulin is one of the major talks that we're hearing about day in and day out when it's coming to overall health these days. But we know that one of the things that is causing type 2 diabetes is elevated blood sugar levels, which can be caused by insulin resistance or, you know, our body's inability through the pancreas, those beta cells, to increase or produce insulin. We see in studies that green tea can improve insulin sensitivity and reduce and regulate blood sugar levels. Tremendous. I mean, if we're talking about insulin and we're talking about all those benefits, that's why keto is so important. All right. That's why if we're trying to reduce metabolic syndrome, if we're trying to, even if we're on an intermittent fasting type of diet, all right, not increasing insulin levels, green tea is going to be great for you. All right. We also seen in some studies that green tea, all right, can significantly lower the risk of type 2 diabetes. All right. And that's through its ability to improve insulin sensitivity and reduce and regulate blood sugar levels. All right, so very important to keep in mind, and this is again why I love green tea. All right, tons of health benefits, especially when it comes to insulin, especially when it comes to blood sugar levels, reducing type 2 diabetes. One of the big ones out there as well, chronic diseases with heart health. We also know, again, leading right into heart health, that it can help prevent cardiovascular disease. All right, numerous different ways. The antioxidants are a big one. All right, EGCG, we know that has powerful effects on reducing inflammation. Again, chronic inflammation is going to be one of your major risk factors for cardiovascular disease, heart disease, things of that nature. One of the leading causes, if not the leading cause of death worldwide. Not just in the US, not just in the Western world, worldwide, guys. All right, so we know that green tea can improve total cholesterol. All right, so lower total cholesterol and lower LDL, so bad LDL cholesterol levels. Tremendous. All right, I think that's great. Anything else for green tea? Now, a lot of people will tell me, ooh, yeah, raw garlic for heart health, especially, guys. I love, if you've listened to these streams, then you know how much I love garlic. And I said in my recipe that I had sauerkraut in, throwing garlic in that, just because I'm a huge fan of raw garlic, its health benefits, the sulfur compounds in it, allicin found in it. Love garlic, and I especially love raw garlic for overall heart health. I think it's tremendous, very, very heart healthy. One of the best heart health foods that we can have, to be honest with you. So I think one other thing I want to point out when it comes to, and this is my own just kind of personal opinion, you'll see a lot of talk and discussion, and we've seen in some studies maybe a minor boost in metabolism, or by drinking green tea. We'll hear or read a lot in its ability to help lose weight, to help burn body fat. I think that's the big one, increased body fat burning. Well, maybe, but again, like I said, there's no magic drink, there's no magic food that's going to cause you to lose body fat. Plus, when we see that, when we hear that it can help to reduce belly fat, well, we can't always spot reduce fat. All right, so it's not like the green tea can go into our body and then automatically target belly fat. It's just not how it works. Sometimes in our body fat is the last thing that we lose. We lose fat everywhere else. In order sometimes to lose belly fat, we have to lose body fat throughout the entire body. Once we get down to a certain weight, that's when we can usually start targeting body fat. There's no magic cure in green tea where we can just say that drink green tea, drink 4 cups, and then you're going to start losing belly fat. Again, you got to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight and to lose fat. That's why I like that 150 minutes of exercise thrown in with a little bit of resistance training, and then having a clean overall diet. That's the best way to burn belly fat. So I just want to kind of give a heads up. You'll hear a lot, you'll see a lot about green tea, its ability to decrease belly fat. Well, I wish that was the case. If it was, everyone would just be drinking green tea all day long and everyone would have no belly fat. It's the same thing with apple cider vinegar. We already know that has tons of tremendous benefits. Again, I just want to point out, burning belly fat may not be one of them, may not be one of the best ones. Again, if it can be a tool if we have a combination of good diet. If you're in a calorie deficit, you have to be in a calorie deficit, and exercise. Again, if you're drinking green tea and you're in a calorie surplus, guess what? You're going to be putting on belly fat. It doesn't matter if you're drinking the green tea, unfortunately. So just wanted to point that out there, guys, just because, a lot of the times people will look at it as decreasing belly fat. Deplete glucose, glycogen, and your body switches into keto mode, fat burning. Yes, and you have to deplete by 0 carbohydrates, or very little carbohydrates, like maximum of 50. Sometimes it's even lower. It's like 20 to 50. I think personally 50 might be a little bit too high, especially for someone who's, depends what your weight is, all right? But, for some individuals, 50 carbohydrates is a little high to get into ketosis, fat burning mode, all right? And ketosis just means you're burning fat, so fat is being used as energy. That's ketosis, and that's why people are getting on a ketogenic diet through low carbohydrates. You're not spiking your insulin. But yeah, and again, all of these foods that we've been talking about can help stabilize blood sugar, all right, which is so great about them. All right, that's one of the major health benefits of them. But yeah, keto is very popular. I've done a lot of research on keto and getting into ketosis and everything like that. It's not complex, but it's very what's the word I'm looking for? Demanding. It's a very demanding diet, because you can be a little bit restrictive. It can be a little bit restrictive for some people. If you like fruit, like a banana or apple or things like that, you're going to have to stay away from that type of stuff just because of the carbohydrate content. If you like sweet potatoes like myself, no sweet potatoes or brown rice. You can fit other stuff in there. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. Just some people who like certain foods, right, you will have to stay away from them. But absolutely, keto is one of the big ones right now. Same with intermittent fasting. Again, I could do a whole discussion on both of those diets. Maybe I will into the new year, depending on the reason why I don't is because I think people can get more benefit from this, adding these 5 foods in. Doesn't matter what diet you're on. A keto discussion might be only beneficial for someone who's following a keto diet or thinking about following a keto diet. Maybe we'll have it, maybe we won't. Maybe same thing with intermittent fasting. Just read a very interesting book on intermittent fasting, actually. I just got a client on intermittent fasting, just made them a diet. So, lots of things we can discuss when it comes to those 2 diets. So green tea, guys, one of the big ones that we can add. I think if we're adding that as well, in combination with sauerkraut, with omega-3s, with pecans, and then green tea. I think those are 4 of the 5 that are going to be important so that we can, have a healthier 2022. Tremendous benefits with all of those foods. Now, I cannot leave this one off, and you guys might laugh. I left it to last because I talk about it quite a bit, but it's a true superfood, and I just love this food. All right, the last one, guys, all right, maybe anticlimactic, but it's going to be blueberries. All right, blueberries, guys, I needed one fruit in here. All right, one food a little bit different from the others. We have, 2 fat sources, all right, a beverage, all right, in green tea, and a fermented food. All right, I wanted a fruit in here because basically almost anyone, unless you're maybe on keto, can add blueberries to your diet. Blueberries are a tremendous superfood, guys. It cannot go unstated how important and how great blueberries are for your overall health. They're a tremendous food, guys. Tremendous superfood. Berries in general, if you have strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, those would be my 4 that I would always suggest, but I think blueberries are at the top. They have the most antioxidants. They have tremendous micronutrients. We talked a little bit about bone health. A bone health question was asked. You're even going to get some bone health benefits to consuming, I think Jeffrey asked it, to consuming blueberries, surprisingly enough. There's tons of tremendous health promoting abilities when it comes to blueberries. All right, I love blueberries. All right, superfood. They're incredibly low in not just carbs, but yes, carbs, but incredibly low in calories and very, very high in micronutrients. All right, a lot of people will consider them, I eat them every day. I'll put them in anything. Like I'll throw them in oatmeal, smoothies. I'll put them in Greek yogurt if I'm having that. You can just eat a bowl of blueberries. I find it very easy to add them to my diet. A number of different ways that you can do that. Some people will add them to salads. I think that's a great way of doing it. They won't put like the fatty salad dressings on. They'll sort of use the blueberries as a sweetening taste for the salad. I think that's great. So many ways that you can add them to your diet. High in fiber, high in vitamins. So when someone was talking about bone health, all right, Jeffrey, sorry. High in vitamin K, which is important for bone health. I kind of missed that one before. All right, but calcium, manganese, magnesium, phosphorus, copper, vitamin K, definitely important. It's high in vitamin K, manganese, vitamin C, all right, and we don't need a ton of it, and very high in fiber. High in many micronutrients, guys, all right, which is just tremendous. Blueberries, also known, all right, and this isn't my words, but we also see that blueberries are thought of to be almost like the king of antioxidant foods. They have a tremendous amount of antioxidants. It cannot be understated, and that's why I love it, because they can reduce inflammation, which can reduce the risk of many different types and certain types of chronic diseases. We've gone over all of them. It can reduce the risk of anything from heart disease to certain types of cancer, and even to aging, damaging of our cells. All right, we know that antioxidants can protect us from free radical damage, antioxidant damage. Now, with blueberries, the reason why I love these, one, they have powerful antioxidants. All right, usually purple foods, purple foods will have a particularly powerful flavonoid antioxidant called anthocyanins. All right, anthocyanins are very potent, powerful antioxidants that are found in blueberries. All right. Also, not only do they have anthocyanins, but they're very high in polyphenols. All right, and numerous flavonoid antioxidants. It's not just anthocyanins, but numerous flavonoid antioxidants. All right, polyphenols, flavonoids. All right, even other less common ones that you wouldn't hear so much. Quercetin, a little bit of that. Found in blueberries. Tremendous antioxidants, guys. Can reduce cell damage, can reduce the risk of chronic diseases. We love those antioxidants in blueberries, a true superfood. I love blueberries, and they go well with my daily kefir. Absolutely, Thelma. Like I was saying, I think that's a great mix. I like it with Greek yogurt. I I can never pronounce it. Skyer. If there's anyone from Iceland who just typed it in chat, Skyer yogurt, Skyer, I believe it's pronounced. I've been eating that lately. Love it. And I've been adding blueberries to that with a little bit of walnuts in it. Tremendous healthy combination there. I just saw your comment there, Christine. That's why I was hesitating there for a bit. I do want to see your recipe. I'll definitely get that recipe up when it comes to sauerkraut. Don't worry. I'll maybe even do a live video. I can make it for you guys. I think that would be fun. But yeah, tremendous. King of antioxidants with blueberries. Just tremendous health benefits. Again, heart health benefits, reducing bad LDL cholesterol. But the big thing is it can reduce bad LDL oxidation. All right, which we want to definitely stay away from. All right, the other thing, lower blood pressure. So again, heart health benefits, preventing heart disease. We also know that it can improve brain function, which I think is very important. And again, it's going to help have anti-diabetic effects. All right, it can help to control blood sugar levels. And a lot of the studies are showing that that's coming from anthocyanins. The anthocyanin antioxidants, which we said was already a powerful flavonoid antioxidant, can have beneficial effects on insulin sensitivity and glucose metabolism. So again, we're respecting the hormonal response of the foods we're eating. So if you want to decrease insulin levels or decrease blood sugar, all right, control insulin, all right, if you control insulin, then blueberries are great for you. All right, blueberries have great anti-diabetic effects. All right, through the beneficial effects of insulin sensitivity and glucose metabolism. All right, I think very, very important. All right, we know that it can have improvements, major improvements. All right, found in studies in insulin sensitivity, especially even for people who are dealing with insulin resistance. All right. And again, why is it important to have improved insulin sensitivity? Well, it can lower the risk of things like type 2 diabetes again, but it can also reduce the risk of metabolic syndrome. All right, two huge chronic diseases that are, where we see throughout the world. All right, it's just going up and up and up, especially with obesity levels going up as well. Buy them fresh, not imported from overseas. Yeah, Toon, that's it's very interesting to point out. Just try it as best you can. Try to have them fresh. I will admit I have frozen. All right, and I try to get organic frozen if I can, and they're usually local. The reason why I eat frozen, or I'll have them frozen, is because I buy them in bulk. If I was having them fresh, I just eat so many blueberries and have them so often that I would be having to go to the grocery store every day, almost every day or every other day, just for blueberries. So that's a great point, fresh. And if you're gonna buy them fresh, try to get organic, non-GMO if you can. Can always be a little bit tough. But, give and take. The frozen, it's like pick your battles. You're still going to get all the health benefits from the frozen blueberries, then especially if they're local, organic, non-GMO, than you will with the fresh. I also drink kombucha. It's a health aid for the gut. Absolutely, kombucha tea. Very, 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 very gut healthy. Absolutely. Yeah, kombucha. I used to drink quite a bit of kombucha as well. Not so much anymore. It was a little while ago, but I was big on kombucha. I was drinking it for years, so that's awesome, Angela. Again, so yeah, anti-diabetic. Again, we're respecting that hormonal response. All right, improving insulin sensitivity, even in people with insulin resistance. So tremendous superfood. Right, can help control blood sugar levels when it comes to blueberries, and very easy to add to the diet, guys. All right, so those are our 5 foods, guys. Well, I have to tell you, the time flew by. We went for over 2 hours and 15 minutes. Tremendous stream today. You guys were great with all of the input that you guys were giving, all of the engagement. I really appreciate it. A load of blueberries or other berries, put them in water with vinegar to kill fungus and bacteria. Let's let them dry and then put them in boxes. Interesting, Thalma. Interesting point there. There's so many things that we can do for our foods: rinsing, washing, especially when it comes to, some of the foods like fruits and vegetables, even like beans. I know, for instance, a lot of people will wash. I'll do the same thing, especially if it's canned. But what a last stream, I have to say. Thank you so much, guys. 5 foods to add to your diet. So the 5: sauerkraut, fish oil, pecans, the green tea, and then blueberries. So that's on our list there, guys. All right, so those are the 5. If we're trying to have a healthier 2022, we already talked about weight loss tips and things like that. Here's 5 foods specifically that we can add to our diet for a healthier 2022. And we talked about all of the reasons why we want to add them. Remember, you can have them in moderation, so we can think with our wallet a little bit as well, because that's important. But what a last stream of 2021. Absolutely incredible. Thank you so much. Tammy, you're very welcome. Appreciate you. I see you next year. Absolutely, you guys will see me next year. As always, appreciate you, Tammy. Thank you so much. You're very welcome, Toom. Thank you. Thank you for, staying the whole entire time. Same with you, Tammy, in here, pretty much our whole entire time here talking about, foods we want to add to our diet this year. I have to say, what a year it's been, guys. Thank you so much for all of the support. I think we're just going to build into 2022. And like I said, I want to help make 2022 the healthiest year for all of us, myself included. We can be a nice, supportive community. We can hold each other accountable, but in a fun way. All right. And, be a support system for each other. I think that's important to have, especially when it comes to things like nutrition, things like fitness. And fitness can be just getting our walks in 150 minutes per week. So thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. I appreciate the support given throughout the entire year. Thank you very, very much. You're very welcome, Christine. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you. And, I'm looking forward to the new year. Like I said, we're going to have some ebooks that are coming out, some programs, some services that are going to be available to people. If you want some guidance in certain ways, whether that be fitness, nutrition, consultations, I want to make myself available to you guys, just like I do in these chats, answering your questions and helping you build on what you already know and, having the healthiest year that we can have. So thank you very much, Thelma. My pleasure. Happy New Year's to you and everyone in chat. You're all awesome. Thank you, Thelma. You're awesome. Everyone in chat, I appreciate you. Everyone have a happy New Year. Have a safe New Year. And like I said, I will talk to you. What's today? Friday? Not even sure. But I should be back on Sunday here for our next stream, guys. All right. So thank you so much. Appreciate all of the support. Appreciate all of the engagement and all the thumbs up. I see we're at 44. Again, I missed them by 10. I think I said I was thank you at 29 last time. So thank you, guys. Appreciate you all. Stay safe. Let's make 2022 the best year that we can, the healthiest year that we can, and just keep building off 2021 into the new year. So thank you so much, guys. Appreciate you all, and I look forward to the next year coming up, 2022, with continued information, continued live streams, and everything that's coming out with all the services and all of the other types of value that we can provide. So you guys have a great day. Enjoy your night wherever you are, wherever you're listening from, and I will talk to you guys on Sunday. So take care, everyone.